Good morning from Churchill Downs, where we are out here to watch morning works. The buzz is in the air as we are very close to the 150th Run for the Roses, fastest 2 minutes in sports. Let's talk a little bit about the wagering pool. The win pool for the Derby is a fun part of the handicap. Because it's a pari-mutuel pool, we will not know the price you're going to get on a horse to win until all the money has been counted. Right now, the win pool stands at about $5 million. We're expecting it to get to about $30 million by the time the race gets to post, and a $30 million. So basically, a sixth of the money has been counted. Right now, the current favorite is Fierceness. By all projections and looking at the offshore markets, looking at the Oaks Derby double pools, it would be a shock if Fierceness is not the favorite when we get to post. He is expected to be in the 3-to-1 range. Now, if Mattress Mac shows up and puts an extra $1 million into the pool on Fierceness, then maybe that changes and he goes off in the 2.5 to 1 range. But realistically, expecting Fierceness at 3, and then Sierra Leone, who there was some buzz might go off as the race favorite, likely to be your second choice at 5 to 1. Third choice right now stands Forever Young, which is somewhat of a shock considering the race conditions, considering how heavy the kickback is going to be in this race, and what that horse's connections have said about how concerned they are about kickback affecting his performance. At this point, I think Forever Young is a pretty obvious toss, particularly at price. And then rounding out your top 5 in terms of odds is going to be Catching Freedom at about 8 to 1, the fourth choice. And then I think Just a Touch will likely go off as your fifth choice around 9 or 10 to 1. As you can see, it is somewhat muddy out here. We're out here boots in the mud, and we had about 1.5 inches of rain overall yesterday here in Louisville. Pretty heavy cell came through last night, and all things considered, the track is in fairly good condition. We were out here for morning workout. We saw one of the also eligible horses, Mugatu, come through and do a pretty fast mile on his run near the rail. There was a little bit of kickback, but not so much that you would think it's going to be a huge factor in the race. I will say this though, the kickback that we did see, it's going to be heavy. That could affect the horses that don't like to have mud thrown in their faces, or the ones that are just unfamiliar with that. The names that come to mind is obviously Forever Young. I would say that if you had high hopes that one of the mudders was going to get the benefit of an off track like Mystic Dan or maybe West Saratoga, sired by Exaggerator, I don't think you're going to get those conditions. So those two horses were already out for me, and because it's probably going to be a fair track, I don't think it's worth considering them to hit the board in any kind of exotics. That said, it's going to be a fantastic day of racing. We're expecting about 160,000 people to come through for the 150th Kentucky Derby today. So if it's anything like yesterday where we had 100,000 here for the Oaks, it's going to be just a phenomenal Saturday. I hope you're enjoying the races, and if you need any tips, check us out at NBC Sports Bet.